Please stand as you are able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the April 12th, 2022 meeting of the Board of Trustees for the School Town of Speedway. We are working from an 11-item agenda. And the first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our last meeting, March 8th, 2022. Yes.
I'll move that we approve the minutes from the meeting from March 8th, 2022.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there discussion on this issue? Would all those in favor of approving the minutes please signify? And that passes unanimously.
Minutes are signed.
Thank you. The second agenda item this evening is to approve amendment number 4 to the Food Services Management Agreement.
Thank you, Mr. President. In your packet is the complete food service management agreement, and the recommendation is to approve this FSMA. Airmark has been a great partner for the school corporation, all of our cafeteria workers, Airmark Food Director Liz Schmidt, and our new cafeteria supervisor Ryan Hahn for the last year has exceeded all expectations. And the adjusted fees are small and presented over the life of the contract. So again, the recommendation is to approve this agreement.
Thank you. Yes?
I move that we approve the amendment to the food service management agreement.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Is there discussion or commentary about the food services agreement? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor of approving amendment number 4 to the Food Services Management Agreement would signify. And that passes unanimously. The third agenda item this evening is to present a preliminary report regarding the 2022 summer school programs.
In your packet is a proposal for summer school this summer. The proposal includes an elementary and junior high iLearn review, and also a preparation and specific targeted reading instruction for third graders who did not pass iRead 3. We also have available to our secondary students online classes for high school credit. Included in this proposal is also enrichment and acceleration opportunities at all levels. Our traditional band classes are offered for elementary students who will be entering the junior high and taking instrumental music for the first time in the fall of 2022, and marching band for students in grades 9 through 12. Enrichment classes are also offered in reading, writing, speaking, STEM, and health and wellness. These classes are open to all students at each elementary school. Last year, we had some success offering classes at the end of our summer, where we traditionally offer summer school in the beginning. We had some success offering classes at the end of summer. And again, this year, we'd like to continue the success with a Kickstart type of program to elementary age students at the end of July in reading and math. And finally, in this year's, as in years past, As a community service, we'd offer free swim lessons for students aged 5 and above by the Speedway High School through the Parks Department. In addition, the proposal is to continue our support with the recreation program offered by the Speedway's Parks Department.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or commentary about this plan?
I have probably a pre-motion question, and that is, one of the things that it seems that we've been consistently concerned about is the making up of the educational loss due to COVID. Is that being taken into account in this? Is that part of this? Is that not part of this?
Yes, I would say that part of this is, when we talk about the I Learn classes, those classes are specifically reading and math. So I would say those are addressing the COVID loss. Definitely the high school courses that are offered for credit, I would say is helping with that COVID loss. And, the I Read 3 is definitely one of those things I think would help with those students that weren't ready to take the I Read 3 as a third grader. By the way, we didn't have many of those this year. Our results were very good in I Read 3 and compared to last year. So we're making very headway with that.
Thank you. That would be my primary thing, that if you had told me no, then I'm not sure I would have felt comfortable. Is this even a motion item, or is this
It's just a plan.
It's our plan until we get the numbers for all the other classes.
So
Then
we'll
bring it
be
back to
approving
you,
it later.
Because we kind of go like long range reach, and then we'll kind of narrow it down.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you. The fourth agenda item is to approve funding for the recreation program administered by the Speedway Parks and Recreation Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. The recommendation is to again reimburse the town of Speedway $15,000 in support of our summer school recreational programs and swim lessons specifically designed to serve the children of Speedway community. This is one of those items that we've done for a long time. And it's also one of those things that Tammy Smith has now been there multiple years consistently. We were together for 2 meetings today, Tammy Smith and I asked her, how many slots do we fill for this actually? And it brings joy to me to say we have over 300 slots. Now, some kids do extra like dodgeball and another activity, like she's bringing in cornhole activities and unplugged activities this year for kids to for a change, I don't have my cell phone out, but to put their cell phones down and how to communicate. So she's doing a tremendous job, and this is a program that I've only been here a short period of time, but we really hit a lot of kids during this time. So I'm proud to recommend this recommendation to you for the town of Speedway up to $15,000. This is again from our referendum. That's why we have it. It goes back to our community and our kids.
As I said at the health meeting today with Kyle, my children are all in their 50s, and all of them learned this. 40s. I said 50s today, too, didn't I? 40s. They're all in their 40s, but they all learned to swim in this summer program. That's how long it's been around.
Yeah.
I taught them. So, is there a motion concerning the funding for the recreation programs?
There gladly is. I move that we approve the funding for the recreation program administered by the Speedway Parks and Recreation Department.
I'll second.
Thank you.
And before you call for a vote,
Right.
I just want to make the point that I do hope that the public is hearing and understands what Dr. Trobley said, and that is, this is referendum money, and I think a lot of times, people really might have those questions about where exactly this referendum money is going. And while we're very transparent, you listen to any meeting every month and you will see ways in which that referendum money is making just a huge difference in our schools. But this is something where the school district has stepped outside of our own little focused world and is helping the community very specifically. And so putting those pieces all together, I think, is really important, community.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, if all those in favor of approving the funding for the recreation program for this coming summer would please signify. That passes unanimously. The fifth agenda item this evening is to approve an agreement with Gabbart Communication.
Thank you, Mr. President. We started researching this about a year ago of switching out of our website, which was Blackboard. And Blackboard is something that teachers, if you're in the university level or some high schools, that the teachers would use, and basically it's their vehicle to teach out of. And we spent some money on this years and years ago, and it was also hosting our website. Today's world, we use Google Classroom, which we've approved a long time ago, and our teachers are teaching out of Google Classroom. So we made a decision to research this with our technology team, and we found out a few things. Well, we really just need a host for a URL, and we got 3 companies. We took a look at it, and there's going to be a lot of design behind it, but what we also found out is over a 3-year contract, we can save roughly $8,000 over this time. Google Classroom right now, as we pay the licensing, the fees for that, and with a wash of this, we're going to be saving a lot of money on top of this. So we're hoping to upgrade our website, and Ben Koppel and our tech team, and he's just tremendous, the whole team is, and he's going to be working on this probably all the way up to July, and hopefully we'll have a launch, and you're going to see a new face of our website. So the recommendation is to approve Gabbart Communication contract.
Thank you. Yes,
I move that we approve the agreement with Gabbart Communications.
thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there discussion or commentary about the Gabbart Communications deal?
And you can never go wrong with improving communications with the community, with parents, with stakeholders. No.
And we took a huge step last year on Parent Square. And we're hearing pretty good results on that. Parents are enjoying that. I guess especially when I cancel school. I can't believe that. But this will help our communications, I think. One more step.
Thank you. Would all those in favor of approving this Gabbart Communication contract please signify? That passes unanimously. I don't know why I can't say that today. All right, the sixth item on our agenda this evening is to approve textbook adoption for mathematics.
Each year at this time, we go through a adoption of curricular materials. It used to be called textbook adoption. Now it's just called curricular materials adoption because that could change. And the way that starts is the state will provide us with a list of materials that they approve at the state level. And then in January, we have staff members that will attend a textbook caravan, and we'll get samples of those. A committee is formed with the chair people of, this year it was Mrs. Snap with the elementary level, Mr. Roseborough at the junior high level, and Mr. Claiborne at the high school level. And we review those textbooks with, or the curriculum materials with our staff, with parents on those committee, and then they make a recommendation as to what they would like to adopt for the next 6 years. In your packet is a list of those materials that were chosen, and I'm happy to say that in kindergarten through the 9th grade, or actually 9th and 10th grade level, we're using the same publisher. Not that one publisher is better than the other, but I think the continuity of using the same publisher from K through 10th grade level has some merit. And then it changes a little bit when you get into some of the upper level classes at the high school. But you can see that the Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, trigonometry, and AP Stats are a different publisher, but those were also chosen by those teachers and a parent committee. So my recommendation is to approve the mathematic textbook, or mathematic curricular materials as presented.
Thank you.
I move that we approve the mathematic textbook adoption as presented.
Thank you very much.
I'll second.
Is there discussion about the adoption of the mathematics curricular materials?
No, I'll only say thank you to those who did all that
On the
work.
committee,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
They're heated discussions when you get with several educators in a room,
Yeah.
but they all agreed upon this is the best way to go.
Well, I think that's reassuring to us to hear that. I mean, I'm much more reassured that there were heated discussions than if everybody went like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Betsy did a great job of leading the elementary, and Rick with the second, the junior high, and Mr. Claiborne, the high school. They all came to, they're all going to be happy with what's going to happen
Yeah.
this coming year.
Make sure to thank them all, like Laura said. That
Will
was-
do. Thank you.
Okay, would all those in favor of adopting the mathematics curriculum materials, please signify. And that motion passes. The seventh agenda item this evening is to approve the 2022-2023 Student Parent Handbook, minus some changes that might still be needed due to legal changes.
In your packet is a executive summary of what we talked about, and some suggestions by our board as to some corrections and some grammatical errors that were in there. Each one of those are listed in the executive summary. Also included, sometimes the executive summary could be not enough information, so we wanted to kill some more trees, and I put another handbook in there, and I tab each one of those so you could see every place that we made a correction or an addition to our handbook.
that was really nice. Thank you for that.
Our handbook is our, what we go by. It's what we run our school by, and, I think it's important that the board knows exactly what it's in that, and same with our administrators and our parents. So my recommendation would be that is to approve the 2023 Student Parent Handbook with the understanding that some changes may be required by the interpretation of new Indiana code. And if there is something significant, we would bring that back to the board for your review and consideration.
Yes.
I'll move that we approve the 2022-2023 Student Parent Handbook as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, or, this is the second time we've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all very much. If everyone who is in favor would please signify. And that passes unanimously. The eighth agenda item this evening is to acknowledge the grants that we've received in the last month. $359,545.49. The ninth agenda item this evening is the personnel report.
It's been a busy month for the personnel report. There are several items on this report for your consideration. There's description of the individuals that are being listed this evening. We have the following resignations, and that is Amy England as a custodian, Kara Edwards as a teacher at Newby, Kathy McManus as the assistant manager at the cafeteria at the junior high in Fisher. Two individuals have requested disability leave, and that's Calicia Sims at third grade teacher at Newby, Jesse Foy, third grade teacher at Allison. And the following individuals are being recommended for employment: Tina Ross as a custodian, Kelly Clarkson as a secretary, guidance secretary at the high school, Patty Bach for a temporary teaching contract, and she's going to take the position of Calicia Sims while she's gone on disability leave, Angie Smith as the instructional coach at Newby Elementary, Sandra Brown, who's going to take a temporary teacher contract for Jesse Foy, Jonathan Willoughby as an assistant baseball coach at Speedway High School. Erica Hunneman, who's moving from a half stipend to a full stipend as an assistant track coach at Speedway High School. Josephine Goldson as a custodian. Elizabeth Wilkins as a cafeteria employee, a 4-hour employee. She'll be working at the junior high. Jusmary Espina is moving from a 4-hour position to a 6-hour position at Speedway High School. Shirley Boswell, who's going to be working as a 3-hour position at the junior high cafeteria. Anastasia Haberman is assistant cafeteria manager at the junior high Fisher. And Alexander Rowe, who is being recommended as a half stipend as assistant track coach at Speedway High School. My recommendation is that you approve the personnel report as presented.
I move that we approve the personnel report.
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the personnel report as presented? All right. If all those in favor of approving the personnel report as presented would please signify. Okay, that passes unanimously. The 10th agenda item this evening is other business.
I'm going to briefly just say something, and then I'll bring more of a report next month. But we are planning on doing free lunches again during the summer, and that's for 4 weeks in June. And that's for community members to come to the high school. We've done that in the past, so that's excellent. I'd like to congratulate the school corporation for, again, being a performance qualified district status, and that allows us to be flexible on time for the future. So if you're an A school, they say that you need to come so many days, but they give you a little bit of grace if it's really snowy next year. So we already have that under our belts. And finally, I'd like to congratulate our school board for a three-peat, first time ever in state history, that for the school board exemplary, the governance award for the exemplary status. No one's ever done that, so congratulations to you guys for doing that 3 years in a row. And we sit by ourselves on top sometimes on that one, and I'm just proud of you guys and proud of the school corporation. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Disney, any other business?
I have none.
Okay. Well, the 11th agenda item is for us to approve claims and sign warrants, so we will adjourn. Thank you all.
Thank you.